incredibly rapid pace. How many people are coming along tonight and it's your very, very first Jeunesse presentation? This is your first big event you've been to. Okay, very good, almost half the room. I find at these events I get two different types of people. I get one group of people that are intensely product curious. You know, they want to find out about what's all the fuss about these, stem cell products, this instantly ageless that turns around wrinkles in seconds. And I get a second group of people that are not only fascinated about these products, but they're kind of a little bit more deep thinking. I think, well, if these products actually work and do achieve these incredible results, is there potentially an entrepreneurial position for me? So I want to know a little bit more about the whole story. So here tonight, there's no rights or wrongs. How many people have just come along and you're just purely product curious? You want to find out all the details about the product? And how many people want to find out about the whole story? Well, you guys over there feel a little bit ostracised at the moment, don't you? Now, we love product people. There's most people that are involved with Jeunesse using our products. They're not participating in the business. Our products are fantastic. Do you know what's funny, coming here back to Seattle? Seattle was actually the first city in the United States that I flew into when I was 18 years of age. It was a bit of a fun situation because I was going to my very first international networking event. It was in Vancouver, but I had to connect here in Seattle. Two incredible things happened for me on that trip. One, I didn't have a visa, so I arrived here in Seattle because I didn't need one for Canada, but didn't think about coming through the US first. So I was escorted all around the lovely airport here with a man with a machine gun, which was great. And then before I hopped on the plane, sat down in the lounge right next to Michael J. Fox and had a very interesting conversation. So it was an interesting one. But yeah, Seattle really has a fond part in my heart. Glad to be back here. Next time I'll make sure it's not going to be another 28 years before I get back here again. So what I'm going to do in this presentation with you tonight, I want to give you as much information as possible. How many people here in the room have joined a network marketing company before? Wow. Keep your hands up if that experience was a fantastic experience. That's not bad. We actually had about 10 people here in the room that put their hand up. That's okay. Well, what I want to do is to kind of give you a little bit of a refresher about the industry. A lot of people, I'm sure a lot of you have had, people that have a preconceived idea about network marketing. I want to bring you up to speed. See, I started in this industry when I was 17 years of age. And a lot's changed from the 80s through to today. Following that, I'm going to give you a little bit of basic information about who is Jeunesse, the people who own the company, how our products are made, why they're so special, the science behind them, and at the end, how you can generate an income if you want to generate an income. That sound okay? All right, guys, let's get into it. I'm going to go through thick and fast. So, guys, we've got a room that's mostly full of entrepreneurs. One thing entrepreneurs don't want to do is have to sell ice to an Eskimo. Now, if you really think about what we have with Jeunesse, when you look at this statistic on screen, do you realise that virtually 99%, or virtually everyone that you can talk to, has an interest in what we have? They're challenged with either health problems or financial problems. Now, we know today that the economy isn't fantastic. Probably better here in America than it is in most places that I've been around the world, the last year or so. But the economy's tough. And here in the United States, it's that tough that the margin for error for the average American family is employment. If the breadwinner in the family were to lose their job, the average American family has about 3 weeks disposable income before that money runs out. And that's a pretty small margin for error. The great thing about this industry is that it provides a solution. It provides a solution so that you can generate a second income stream. Small, medium, or large. The three groups of people who build a network business: people who want a hobby, a person who wants to be able to pay for their own products, with the commissions that they're earning, maybe have a few $100s left over at the end of the month. That doesn't sound like a lot of money, but for the average American family, that's the difference between whether that family goes on a holiday each year or whether they're suffering from credit card stress. Then you get a second group of people who want to be able to earn a level of income that's equivalent to a part-time or a full-time job. And then you get a third group of people that are the big dreamers. They want to be able to generate enough income that it becomes life-changing. Some that big, they want to generate a level of income that a bank CEO or an NBA star might earn. This industry, in my opinion, is probably the only legal way that I can think of that someone can achieve that without risking any significant capital. There is no risk. The only risk for you is your time and how much time that you want to put in. And you make that in proportion to what you want to get out. Hobby, a few hours per week. Go right up to the other end of the spectrum. You know, you want something life-changing, you want that big-time income. Well, this industry that ends up becoming your obsession. And we are an industry that's tremendously robust. We're pretty much recession-proof. So network marketing grows during the good financial times, but it actually excels during the bad financial times, which I find really amazing. And the boom is that big at the moment that the amount of people that have come into this industry over the last 100 years, which is about 200 million people, are going to come into this industry again, but this time in just the next 10 years. The growth has been huge. We're looking at, in America right now, on average, every 6th or 7th house down the street you live is already represented by a home-based business. And it may be one of the reasons that pieces of financial popular press, like the Wall Street Journal, has put out glowing endorsements about what this industry is capable of. I mean, this was an article at the end of the GFC where the Wall Street Journal had noted that this industry had actually been outperforming everything else during tough economic times. Pretty provocative language. The ultimate social business model, why now is prime time for direct selling. But what about a lot of the people that have come into this industry? Because I want to kind of, you know, if you're living in that old Amway stereotype of this industry that was perpetuated from the 70s and 80s, that's a long extinct dead dinosaur. This industry has changed dramatically. In fact, we're starting to see even some universities provide degree courses in this very industry. Things have changed drastically. What about these guys we see on the screen? Donald Trump, maybe your next president, started his own network marketing company. A few people look concerned. Can't be worse than your last president. I hate politics anyway. So. Who's read Rich Dad Poor Dad? I'm sure we've got a few people who've read that book. Robert Kiyosaki recommends that every single family be leveraged with a network marketing company. My favourite entrepreneur, Sir Richard Branson, he started his own network marketing company very, very similar to what we have with Jeunesse. Now, we all recognise this guy. He's gone on record saying that his plan B outside of Microsoft was this industry, which is a big statement to make. And what about this guy? The world's best investor, one of the richest men on the planet. Wouldn't you like his economic crystal ball? Yes. What if you could just mimic all of his investment decisions with a lot less money? You can become a millionaire quite quickly. He's not gone on record saying that of all of his investments, his best returns have been investing in this industry. He has leveraged positions in about 20 different companies, some of which he actually owns outright. And about 2 years ago, he made a big audacious bid to buy the world's biggest network marketing company, Avon, outright. He was prepared to write out a check for about $15 billion US to buy that company. Amazing, isn't it? And that much money, he could have bailed out Greece a few times over. But he wanted to invest that money in this industry. Do you think he was investing $15 billion to lose money? Or do you think he was confident where the future of this industry is going? You know, I just want to paint that little bit of a picture that if you're still influenced by the stereotype of this industry, or maybe a previous bad experience that you've had, that you don't want to let that disaffect your future. What about these companies and brands? None of these companies and brands have used this business model to market any of their products or services before the last 10 or 15 years. See how this massive change has taken place? Well, we've got some baby boomers here in the room. And what I know with baby boomers they govern trends more than any other demographic.